Boom! Rise and shine, even on a rainy, cloudy day. Fuck, they said it was gonna be cloudy, but damn, I didn't expect it to be gray and rainy. Great morning motivation. I'm your host with the most, is Mark Saint. This is 3D Weed on Shirts and Saints Addiction. And this morning we're gonna talk about sobriety and being on a mission for clarity and opportunity and for our brains to work in our favor. This morning I had a conversation with a roommate, the one that's been putting me up, let me crash on the couch, and I said I'd rather sleep in my car than to watch you drink. And unfortunately that's the case. I'm just getting off the phone with my friend from Finland, and he said my friend was sucking down this cigarette and he hopped in my car, and I've known him since childhood, and he smells so bad that I almost threw up, and we're arguing with each other over the neuroses. He said I was being neurotic about the smell of cigarettes. Now, mind you, my friend in Finland used to smoke cigarettes and has quit for a while. Then he has some neighbors that are above him, and they're smoking all the time, and it's bleeding into his house. So he hasn't been able to sleep right or be right for a hot minute. Damn, I'm up in the rain. Fuck it. I'm out here in the rain, yo. I'm doing the morning motivation in the rain, but it's just a little bit of rain, and it needs to be done. The walk needs to be done, and my sober needs to be done. Or not done, but happen. Wow, it's really raining right now. I am happy. And the reason I am happy is because I am sober. When all my life I've been battling against, my dad's alcoholism, my mom's abuse, bipolarism, and my ability to self-regulate my own moods. It's kind of the biggest task of our lives. What's up, man? Good morning. It's one of those things that most of us don't do, right? Is this thing clogging up? Shit. Got a little raindrop on the camera here. And unfortunately, life is so hard, and then we go and make life even harder. We all want to be free. We all want to be productive. We all want to be excellent. But at the same time, life will throw us things like deaths and loss and hard times. And it's really the thing I hang my hat on the most with Saints Addiction is my sobriety. It's not something people really want to talk about that often, the sobriety strategy. But it was one of those things that I knew for sure with people gambling. There was no good happening with people drinking. There's nothing happening with people doing hard drugs. And that's why I started Weed Club, I don't mind weed, but right now I'm extremely sober. I don't have no weed in my pocket. I got a weed shirt, Weed on Shirts. Saints Addiction is weed still, and my temper, I've been working on it. I feel like I'm a better listener now. I wouldn't be able to do that if my brain was pickled. It's the truth. If I went down to Arizona to go meet this chick, and she kept saying, yeah, we'll grab a drink, we'll grab a drink, we'll grab a drink. She must have said it 4 or 5 times, and I had to repeat myself 4 or 5 times, I don't drink. And for her, she started lying to me. Oh, well, I'm almost always sober, and I used to be a bartender. Red flag. Just being around the alcohol, and that you can tolerate people on alcohol. And then there says a red flag if a girl wants to hang out with her friends and not hang out with you. That's what ended up happening. She much rather drink on St. Patrick's Day at a bar with her friends, young friends, and act young, dumb, full of cum and hurt herself than to be with me and show me the city and show me some kind of an effort that matched 10 hours of driving that I did. It's unfortunate, but I know the truth, When I'm looking at her on her birthday in her spa and her hot tub video, and she's cheersing Trulies, and then didn't end up going with her friends, so she opted out to let me go back home. Fuck it, how much effort you put in. Why would I match your effort and show you respect or the same type of vibration when all I really want to do is stay at home and drink? So she's home drinking, which is kind of another level, like club drinking, bar drinking, and home drinking. Anyway, the way we consume our drugs of choice and the way it impedes our opportunities. And I had this conversation with the roommate this morning. He told me he was going to stop drinking about 3 days ago and didn't. He's back to the day drinking. I don't even know how you can do that on your stomach. He told me he wanted to go to meetings, and I said, look, man, I'm trying to give you this car as an opportunity. You know, you need a vehicle. You don't even have a driver's license because you used to drink. You'd rather walk kids on a busy street in a bad neighborhood than to provide them with a father that's sober and can have his driver's license. My dad did the same thing. Right down here in Henderson, we were in California at the time, and we were picking up some of our belongings from the storage container, and he hit somebody with the trailer, and the dude, he was trying to pay off. It's my own father. Rather pay off the money than accept the responsibility. Well, they arrested him. They straight took him, and now me and my brother went to juvenile hall without even having a crime. We had no next of kin here in Vegas, so my mom had to come all the way from Colorado, good morning, and come get our asses, dude. And that's some scary ass shit. We're like 13, 14. I don't remember. Enough to get in high school, maybe 15. So that makes my brother 13. And we're at juvenile hall here in Las Vegas. It's on my record, some NC-17 thing. I think they took it off the paperwork when I went to South Korea. Actually, I know they did. But not my DUI. So just like my father, I like to party. I'm going to fuck some hot chicks. I want to feel a good buzz. I want to feel strong, powerful, in control. And what do? We all do the opposite. We all do the opposite, bro. We're all on this path of everyone I know would want to, you put a gun to their head, they want to live. They want to be healthy, fuck the police, and they want to be happy. So we do these things because we feel that it'll make us happy. And in essence, that's what they do. Like dopamine. The guy's right. You get on this phone and you'll feel like you're completing tasks. And I'm as guilty as anyone. I saw it. It said, you used your phone 9 hours yesterday. I'm like, fuck. Now, mind you, I leave my YouTube on for a long time just because I'm listening to music in the background. That's just how I do it. And at night when I'm sleeping, the wave sounds or the hertz or whatever. But I mean, I'm literally meeting this girl spending $1,800 on ketamine treatments, trying to take it all seriously, posting memes all the time, but won't keep her sobriety all the time. She told me she's only been drunk like 3 different times. And I'm like, the 3 different times I last saw you was you on your birthday drinking, me coming to meet you drinking, and you went back to drinking. You're trying to talk about traveling with me, a sober partner, someone that doesn't need alcohol to have fun. You're talking about all this shit, but you're not backing it up. And that's why I had the conversation with my roommate this morning. I'm like, you're just not backing it up. I'm not going to give you a car if you're not going to be sober. I'm over here putting in 10 hours and $200 to make this thing a reality, and you know nothing. You went back to drinking. How is that fair? I don't know you shit. I pay my rent. I pay for my little couch on the thing. I pay for my own food. I don't know anybody shit. I'm really grateful for my spot, but I will instantly sleep in my car than to put up with my mom's bad attitude, a situation that's rude, or someone that's not keeping their honor, their word. And that's what it is. That's one of the 4 agreements, is to be impeccable with your word. And she was like, do you know about the 4 agreements? I'm like, bitch, I'm the one that mentioned it to you about not taking anything personal. And here we are. Here I am, sober. You know, I'm sober as a motherfucking gopher. And I appreciate it, bro. It's one of the things that's been so paramount in my life. I named my company out of it because, you know, 1, I was fashion brand clothing, but 2, it's always been there. Before I sold the clothing, I was looking into addiction. I remember reading the pamphlet and crying because it's like, do you do drugs at home alone? I'm like, yeah. How do you know if you're an addict? Right? Like, how do you know? And you don't want to wear the addiction. Nobody wants to say I'm an alcoholic. You know, what they did is they gave me soliloquies. They gave me that, what do you call it? One of my buddies said, don't give me your platitudes. You know, these fake ass, I'm going to do what I got to do type shit when you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Man, I still go to work. I still put food on the table. Those are the minimum. That's what I don't want to clean. Like, how are you going to eat otherwise? You know, are you just going to spend money on takeout all the time? Can't afford that. So eventually you're going to have to make some meals so you can feed yourself, because our body requires to stay alive. planet Earth. You're getting oxygen, water, and food. Facts, a lot of it on a regular basis. And that's the one reason that most of us have to go to work, because we're going to need food, clothing, and shelter. They're really bad habits. But what do? We add other habits onto it. We add on the fact that we have spending habits, right? This ability to be there, doing the things that you said you were going to do. I'm going to go pay my rent. I'm going to do this. But then what ends up happening is the workouts slide, right? That I'm going to be healthy. How many of us wake up super healthy and go, first thing I'm going to do in the morning is drink water. I'm going to stretch. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to be this awesome human being. And then by nighttime, another human being, a fake human being, the other side of us, actually. And I think that's been my whole purpose with addiction, is to be honest about that other side. There's a lot of people that are subversive, pretend and hide just because they want you to believe this exterior. But much like Robert Greene, don't believe the exterior. I need to know what you're like when you're angry. I need to know what you're like when you're sad. I know what you're like when the chips are down. There's a lot of things that show me who you really are by your behavior. That's what I like about our lives, and act upon it. The actions that come out of the feelings that we have is our behavior. It's habitual. It's really challenged my life to do it without that. Can you get up early in the morning, drink water, and work at night? Last night, that was tough for me. It's tough for me to quit sugar. I almost went and ate another bowl of cereal last night. I'm like, I don't need bowls of milk and sugar in my stomach before I fall asleep. How skinny would I be if I stopped eating after 6 to 8 o'clock at night? How much more fit and healthy would I be if I stayed some kind of consistency? And that was the huge part to me, was I wasn't being consistent to myself. I'm the only one that's got to listen to me in my head. I'm the only one that gets the punishments, whatever happens to my own consequences. I'm the one that's got to live it. And to be about it, that's my principles. You know, the principles are the strongest thing about us, is like, they're not convenient. They're not gonna, I want to be a man of my word. Well, then you're gonna have to put some work into that word. You're gonna have to back it up. And that's what real men do. That's what real people do. They back it up. And I know it's not gonna say men, because women, they do what they feel. If it doesn't feel right, they'll abort a baby. They'll stop talking to a guy. They'll give mixed signals. They won't keep their word. And what's really cool about contracts is it means that your feelings that you said you were going to do right here, right now, when you sign your name on it, that's all that matters. Whether you want to waive me, trade me, talking about UFC contracts and shit, yeah, bro, they're capture you. Once you sign that paperwork, they own your ass, your likeness, they own your last name, they tell you when to fight, and they tell you who to fight, just so you can get a paycheck. Is it the biggest paycheck of your life? No, only if you're a superstar and you win. Then they're all of a sudden up your ass like John Jones. They don't even care if you get DUIs, hit women, or always in trouble in prison, catch you getting popped for steroids. Guess what? We just want to see you win belts and beat up people. It's a really bad behavior because it happens a lot. Like in college, they don't care if you blow out your fucking knee. They don't care at all, bro. I have a lot of friends. There's a lot of people out there that didn't make it. All we want to talk about is Jesus, trash everywhere, plastic pocket challenge. But that's all we want to do. We only want to talk about the messed up behavior. We don't want to talk about the messed up behavior. We just want the production. So as long as you go to work and put food on the table, I guess that's enough. But what's not enough is what slides on the side. Now you're not picking up the shit in the dog cage for over a week, right? It smells like high shit, but you've been drinking all week, so you let that slide. And then you don't mind, drinking in front of your kids because that's what you want to do. But now you're modeling the behavior. It's the same thing my father would do. He would put some peach schnapps in his Gatorade. Now my homie's putting Trulies in his, what the fuck's that called? Pedialyte. He was doing so good, bro. And I don't know this chick as much, and I don't care as much about the chick as I do my homie, but there's it is. I care a lot about my homie, Tony. He just came into town, blew himself away, and what did he do? Kept his pride, kept drinking, kept blowing through friends, kept getting more lonelier, so then he'd have to drink more in the end. It's enough, bro. It literally makes me feel proud of myself. It literally makes me feel happy that I am not running to the bottle. I lost my child. And here lately, I've been watching people celebrate, happy to have babies, kissing the baby belly, and having these gender reveal parties and doing all the things that lovers are supposed to do. I didn't get any of that. My lover was hiding the fact that she was pregnant. She was lying. It's one of the reasons I made her go talk to her mom. I'm like, stop lying. We're pregnant. You should have told your parents. No, you wanted it out. You wanted to fight with me and find a way to piss me off in public, because that's what some people do, so they could say, oh, it's on you. It's on you I didn't take my prenatal vitamins. It's on you that I want to abort an actual fetus that has a heartbeat inside of me that's been alive for 5 months. Oh, it's on you. And it was on me for a hot minute. I was really taking it hard. I was like, man, I'm just like my dad. I'm abusive. You guys can go back a year. You can watch me melt on this show. I was real about that shit. Talking about my abusiveness, my embarrassment, how I have no self-control, all these things. And at the end of the day, I'm not her. I'm not her irresponsibility, because both of us laid down on that campsite in Yosemite and made that baby. Both of us enjoyed that nut when it happened. You're as responsible as I am, but you want to put it on me because I got this bad attitude, but you keep firing me up, you keep talking shit to me, you keep calling me names, and you keep walking away from me. All really bad behavior. It's not on me. I'm responsible for what I did. I'm out here in the rain. I'm out here doing my work. I'm responsible for it. I have to pay dues. I have to pay people back. I have to pay myself back and say, you know what? You deserve to be sober. I'm in fucking prison with cartel members and fentanyl addicts. And this guy's going on talking about how his girlfriend died. So he did, what did they take him? 2 different snorts. What's the stuff called when you're overdosing? Narcan. 2 up his nose and 2 or 3 in his veins. It took him almost 5 Narcans to get this kid off of fentanyl, and he's still alive. Literally in the bathroom getting all fucked up because his girl died. He had a big new tattoo on his forearm of an A. I think it was for Angela or something, but that's it. That's us, bro. Self-harm. Well, everyone else doesn't want to be harmed by anyone else. They don't want anyone to take away their rights or their abilities to be free or just living. And then what do? We trap ourselves. We trap ourselves with our habits. We're addicted to these things. We're like, you know what? Let me give all my money to Philip Morris and my teeth and my health and my youth and my skin. That's a pocket challenge, y'all. That's what we're doing. And we'd be damned if somebody else hurt us, but what do? We hurt ourselves. And I think that was again, I hang my hat on this tough, and I even named my business after it. But real talk right now, in the middle of this rain, in the middle of this morning motivation, I'm so grateful to be sober and not have all these crutches that I've been leaning on. And someone's making me cry because it's so emotional to think that all the years my father could have spent with me, he was drinking, he wasn't there, he wasn't bonding with me, he was being drunk. I'll never forget him throwing the baseball at us so hard, me and my brother. He was so drunk that he broke the gate. Like, we had to dodge it. It wasn't even trying to catch it or protect ourselves. We were dodging the actual baseball, and crack, it hit the back of the fence and cracked the wood of the fence. He was throwing it so hard. And I see it in my buddy too. He starts roughhousing his kids more. He starts ignoring them. He's kind of rude to them. He's even mean to the perfect boy he has. Beautiful, young, athletic, helpful, respectful. And as soon as the other brother acts stupid, he starts yelling at him. He doesn't see it. We don't want to see it. We don't want to see. S-E-E with 3 exclamation points. See? I see, said the blind man. I can see myself doing these things, my attitude change, my addiction range, the things that I do on a repeated basis. What are you going to do tomorrow? Are you going to be drinking? Probably. Because you can see yourself doing the same things over and over because you've been doing them. Everybody knows their patterns. That's you. You are your patterns. Your motherfucking habits added up, and it's all about, talks about consistency. We talk about motivation. We talk about focus. How focused can you be when you're inebriated? How focused can you be when you're on lines of coke? Listening to this dumbass on fucking Wolf of Wall Street talking about depravity. All these people made all this money. He just won $1.5 million, went upstairs, put it in the safe, comes back, and the safe is empty. Money's gone. It didn't matter how much money they made. They always got lower. From midget throwing to sucking off dogs to drinking champagne out of a nasty pussy. I've watched the depravity go. I've seen people can't get enough. You're masturbating, you run out of nuts. You ran out of coke. You ran out of alcohol. Now what are you going to do? What are you going to do when the thing that you've been chasing is no longer there? It no longer works. Are you going to drink more? That's what most people do. They want the effect, not the cause. And that's why I'm a rebel with a cause, because it's your cause and effect. What you put in was what you get out. And all we keep doing is putting ourselves down. And I'm just like, why? Why would you do that? Why would you shoot yourself over for 30 days? Why would you relapse? Oh, there was a trigger. Well, here it comes. What's your strategy or your triggers? What's more important? Or your feelings? What's more important? Your consistency and your clarity, or the convoluted and the addiction? And saints, addiction. The perfect guy had problems, was perfectly imperfect. And I had to figure out, how to stop myself, how to get some self-control, how to keep myself in the game without fucking shooting myself in the foot all the fucking time. Or, be drunk with their loved ones, or show their ass and do some stupid shit. Guess what? We're not the first one. I'm not the first one. We won't be the last, but for sure it happens to all of us. All of us have been in a situation where we were extremely emotional, started drinking, and we started crying at a bar. Or who was the dude that the girl said he showed up and professed his love? I don't even know who it was. Yeah, we've done it. We've done the thing that we said we never do. Hit our kids, hit our wives, hate our lives, doing subversive shit in the attempt of being a better person. And I didn't do this show to be like, oh yeah, let me just always smoke weed. There was the whole year I just stopped smoking weed because my buddy was like, oh, it's Mark Saint just getting high again. No, it's not. That's my morning walk. I was trying to do, oh, well, you might be right. Oh shit. Instead of getting defensive, you might be right. If that's what you see, watch me do this show without weed. Watch me do the thing that I'm going to do without the thing that's my crutch. You know, a woman, a substance, a beverage. I didn't need any more crutches. I wanted to feel everything that I was feeling and have to adapt to it without some kind of substance, dust, or alcohol or anything to make me feel differently. And that's what I would do. Just like all of us, we chase our moods. I wanted to feel something different, bro. So let me go fuck this chick. Even though she doesn't love me, doesn't care for me, all I really wanted to do was just feel a nut for a little bit. Mind you, what I really wanted was real love, real cuddles, something more substantial. And that's what was hurt so bad about with my ex, you know? Like, I had this thing where I bonded with this person so much so that we made a baby, which is a spark of life. And I'm looking at him talk about Egypt and the Ankh, and how the Ankh is the womb and the front is the male fecal and the two sides of the children that you're supposed to have. Man, she killed life, bro. She killed my son. And all I'm doing is traveling. I'm a travel addict too. It's another reason I'm doing it, but I'm going near my friends so I can be near them. In the end, that's all I'm doing, is just getting near the healing. Being around my friends, feeling feeling love where I lost love. Feeling life when my son just lost his life. You know, there's no rights for men. We don't get a vote if you get an abortion. It's all about you and your selfishness. And that is not even for abortion. That's people in general. If we're being selfish, if we're putting ourselves first, it's about me. I'm like, nah, dude, you need to get sober for your kids, because you're already selfish. All you want is the way you feel. You want to pound some Trulies. You want to fucking smoke cigarettes. Like, what the fuck you pick that up for? When I first got to the house, you weren't smoking cigarettes. Now, chain smoker. Boom, instantly. And I looked at my friends. They were gambling, and he won this big hand, and then he kept going. And then he showed the 3 different machines, 1400, 1600. He's playing 3 different machines at the same time. He's feeling like a winner. He's intoxicated. He's gambling. He's smoking cigarettes. I mean, he's full on dopamine right in front of him. Instead of getting real dopamine, like being with his daughter, being out in the snow, going to Hawaii like I see him do, what do we do when we become adults? We act like our parents. We go back to the bottle. We go back to bad habits. And I was just like, what the fuck's going on here? What direction are we walking? You know what I mean? Real talk, where are we going? People go like, I want to save. Well, you're going to save if you're a slave. You're going to always go back. I can smell some good weed. You're going to always go back to something that's going to make you weaker. that's going to weaken your finances, weaken your body. The guy was right. What are you doing day drinking? Or no, he was saying, I'm just a social drinker. For what? For people that you don't even know? Like Will Smith said, dude, you're trying to impress people that don't even know you, right? And what's worse is you're the one that has to wake up to yourself. You're the one that has to wake up the next day and be like, which one of you smoked all my weed? Which one of you spent all my money? Which one of you is to blame? And it's you. You are in control of you, or you should be in control of you. And that's where this whole conversation came from this morning is, sobriety is a strategy. It's my strategy because I did all the other strategies. It won't work. Even if I wanted to just like try to find cocaine right now or something, I don't have the money for it, but then I'd have to go find the money for it. And then the money doesn't go towards my trip. It goes towards my addiction. I start making the cartel stronger. I start weakening myself. The guy was right. He said, why would I do that? Get rid of all these beautiful muscles, hurt myself the next day, sabotage my time. And that's all we got on this earth. Are you spending quality time? Or are you just spending it and then like not getting anything out of it? That's huge, bro. It's one of the hugest things I've done was being able to control myself, then control my emotions, and then control my intake, right? Like, how am I going to maintain my clarity if all I keep doing is drilling holes in my canoe? I didn't want to be the guy that had to paddle harder. Just like my buddy, I just work harder instead of smarter. You're going to have to do double the work. Now you're losing the days and you don't get the time back. And now all you're doing is wasted another day. So sure, I had that night, but that 4 to 6 hours is going to cost me 24 to 48 hours. Like literally, I've done the math. It was just like, it takes me a whole day to recover. So there goes 24 hours for sure. Only because I was happy for 4 to 6 hours, I got to be miserable for the next 24 to 48. And I lose the time, and I've lost the money, and I've lost my health. Or you don't know how to handle yourself. And you go back to the thing that you know what works because you watched it work with your father, you watched it work with your mother, you watched it work with all your other people. You think it works. You're watching them maintain or cover up, or what's the thing that we call it when you're, what's the thing you call it when you are, almost got it, hold on, when you're someone's crutch and you're doing it, you're being oh, come on, Marcus, right on the tip of your tongue, stay there, it's right there. You're being, the word, come on, what is it, when you're helping somebody being codependent? No, you're codependent on the thing, but it's when somebody's inebriated, no, it's you're being a inebriator, no, it's annihilator. No, come on, Mark, it's right there. Come on, bro, you didn't even smoke weed this morning. What is the word I'm looking for? And I'll let the show go. You're being a enabler. Thank you, Lord. I was looking for an I. It's an E, enabler. E-N-A-M-B-L-E-R, enabler. If you're an enabler, you're going to just enable yourself to do what you want to do and fuck the details on the side. And it's all, the devil's in the details. So that's where we can't hide. We can't hide from ourselves. We can't hide from our actions, and we can't hide from our accountability. And a lot of people, they're hurting so much inside. They're trying to hide. And instead of giving themselves an opportunity for something new, they're cutting themselves at peace and love. And on the other side, oh shit, I cut off. Here, I'll say it again. I said, you need to quit the things that have been holding you back so you can put some energy to the things that you've been meaning to do. I said it again. So hear me now, feel me now. Do those things. Travel the world. Leave your city, leave your state, leave the country. It's only going to happen if you leave the drugs alone. Find the love of your life. Find your healthy body. Find your healthy mind. It's what everybody in every article is about, but they won't tell you the cost. And it really does cost to be the boss. The cost is going to be your sobriety. It's going to be your decision making, and it's also going to be your discipline. And that's just what it is. So go ahead, bend the knee to Triple C. You're going to be bowing future. Peace.